Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the Good Garage. Today I'm working on something boring, but again, this channel is for me, just posting stuff I'm working on normally. So, um, what I have is 3 barcode scanners. We use these at work, and I've got broken ones, and they're pretty expensive. This model's discontinued. It's a Honeywell 1581i, if I remember right. I can't read the model number because it's faded and it's really small print, but we use these at work a lot because we're scanning labels and inventory and all that stuff all the time. Well, these ones are broke, and when you could buy these, they were about 800 some bucks each, and now the newer models I got to buy are closer to 12 to $1,500 each. So if I can repair them, that saves us a ton of money. So in this case, let me show you what's going on. They turn on, power on, but they won't scan a label, and we figured out what it is. If you look really close, you can see that the lenses are loose and falling around in there, and so now it doesn't read anything. They're little magnifying lenses so that it can't pick up the barcodes. And I already fixed one, so I know it'll work. My problem is I'm a dummy. So I fixed this one last night, and I got the lens back in, but I used just a tiny bit of super glue around the edge, and I don't know if there's some off-gassing or some other thing that I missed, but it clouded over. So look inside there, the one lens is all clouded over. I don't know if you can see that very well. So I'm gonna see if I can do something different with this one, and then go back in and maybe clean that one up and put it back in. So I might mute some of this, just kind of work on it, and then show you the results. We'll see what happens, but here we go. So I already took one screw out. It really is just 4 screws, and this top case comes off. There are some other screws for a circuit board inside, but I don't think I have to take them off. I did last night, but as I was doing that, I may not need to. So let's see what this one looks like when I get it apart. Okay, 4 screws are out. Let's see if we can pop this guy off gently. Okay, comes right off. And what I did yesterday is I unplugged these 2 cables. There's a little rubber bumper that comes around. You can pull the cables through and get that out of your way. And then there's 4 screws holding the circuit board in. But let's see if we even need to do that, because yesterday this piece, I think, comes out without doing that. Maybe. No, it's gonna hit it. I gotta lift it a little bit. All right, let's get the other ones out. Okay, so those cables are unplugged. We're gonna feed them through to get this guard out of the way. We'll put that to the side for now, and we'll get these off. I do have another screwdriver I want to try and use. I stole my son's fancy one. Check this thing out. So it's pretty cool. You push in the top so it's all locked in. Top lifts up, and you have the screwdriver coming out, little electric one, and you have all the bits. This is what I used yesterday, but I wanted to recharge it. Okay, so I don't need to remove this all because there's actually another plug in the back, which I could probably take it off, but I just need it to lift a little bit, and then I can slide this out. And that's just the guard that goes over the whole thing. So inside here's the lens. I don't want to tip it, but you can see one of the lenses is falling out right there. And what we want to do is try and glue that in, but when I did it yesterday, I ruined it. So the other problem is down inside where the main laser is, there's another lens that came free. So there's more than one on this one. So I don't know how that's going to work out. I got to fix all those or it won't work. right, now I'm for sure making a mess. This plug came undone, just pulled this one off, so we'll see what happens. Okay, so I popped one lens back in. I don't know if it's gonna stay. I think, you know, sometimes these things are a little glitchy and the guys get mad that use them. Maybe they bang them around a little bit too much and pop those out. But I don't really want to use the glue again. And I'm sure there's probably something I can shove in there to make it stay, but it was easy enough to get to that spot. I think I'm just gonna try that. If they keep falling out, then I'll come back to them and find a better way to attach them. There doesn't appear to be anything that was holding them in. I think it's just a little bit of pressure with the plastic surround. But I need to get the one in the middle way in there. I'm not sure how to do that. I don't want to take it all the way apart, but I may need to. Well, we're getting messy now. I almost got this whole thing apart. So inside the battery slips down on there and there's some connections. I might just take the rest apart to check it out. These are the batteries it takes, just little skinny things, and there's 4 little prongs on both sides. And way down in there is 4 prongs, and also on the lid. All right, check this out. Maybe the button's in the way. Whoop. I'll never see that spring again. I don't know if you guys can see that, but let me turn this a little bit more. But I just shot the spring out of there that holds the trigger in place. Luckily it didn't go far. I think it's right here. Whew, there it is. I got lucky. Well, I'm learning all kinds of things today. Hey, I've never had one apart like this, so I don't really know what I'm doing. We're just gonna try this out together. I mean, I did fix that one yesterday, but I literally just had the cap off and then glued the lens on, so I pretty much have this thing almost stripped. And I'm sure this button's glued in there, but I gotta get it off of there. I can't get... The only reason I want to get this out is because I want to clean those connections, the battery connections, up really good. And you know, and I think some of those little tabs are bent, so it doesn't always make a good connection to the battery. Otherwise I wouldn't even be messing with this right now. Okay, well I got lucky. I was able to push out enough to slip this by there. I don't know if it'll... Yeah, there we go. I don't have to take that all the way out. That's good. It's a little tiny micro switch in there. I don't know if you can see in there very well, but it's kind of pushed in, blocking the pathway. I know it may not seem like it, but this thing's actually a really good screwdriver. The problem with this is they've got everything like into plastic or Loctite, and so they're pretty tough to get out. This thing, kind of surprising, but it does have a decent amount of power. My son uses a lot on like computer parts and sofa and stuff, so he works really good. Okay, and there's the 4 little tabs I was talking about the battery has to touch. None of them look bent or bad. So that was probably a giant waste of time. And I have a lot of parts here I gotta figure out, but that's okay. It's kind of fun. Okay, back to this piece. This is what I'm after. It took up all my space here. So I gotta get down in here. Oh, there we go. A couple screws here in the back. Boy. So now we got the main part out of there. And again, this lens is just kind of pushed back in place. That one was still locked in, but I still got to get in there. So let me take a look at this thing. Oh yeah, so that just pulled off. What I'm after is right there. That little center round part is where I got to shove that lens into. I just don't know if it'll stay. Too many heat cycles, too much going on, I guess. All right, well, hey, that did push in there. And it kind of locked in, so unless we throw it around or bang around too much, maybe that'll stay. So let's put her back together. Did I tell you guys it's really hot in here? I don't know, man. I'm sitting in my garage, the door's open, but it's probably like 100 degrees in here. Circuit board goes like that. And a retaining clip is like that. I know these ones go on the very top. These 4 hold the main circuit board down. So I'm kind of looking at these. Maybe it was one of these. That looks kind of right. Yeah, maybe. Okay. Was it a little black one? Shoot. Should have paid attention. You know what I could do? I could take the cap off of this one so I can see all the screws. So let's do that because got a couple left I'm just not quite sure about. Well, I don't know. Maybe we're okay. Okay, now for the interesting part. There's a small like ribbon cable that has to attach to the bottom and then this slides into its port. And I think that one, I gotta get that on there. So I did forget some screws. Ha! These 4 little tiny ones go on the sides. But you know what? I'm gonna wait. There's a lot of stuff that holds that down. So we're gonna pretend like those don't need to go in there. Yep, that's what we're gonna do. I don't want to take all that back apart, and I should have been looking. I don't know why I missed them, but I know. Those screws are bugging me too, but you know, I don't know if this is gonna work, so it's possible I gotta tear it all back apart anyway. So, I mean, I could test it now. Let me get this on. Okay, well, let's shove a battery in here and see what it does. It makes sounds, that's good. So that sounds is trying to connect, and I don't have it connect anything, but we're still getting a laser. Let me see if I can find a barcode. I don't know. It should at least kind of beep, but all these are in kind of different forms of wrong. So let's see what this one does. There's also some barcodes you gotta scan to set them up properly. These are set up as keyboards because they want it to read a number. See, that one scans. So I don't know if we fixed anything. We did, however, get the lenses back in where they belong. It does come on. So I'll take it to work, see if I can actually set it up and scan stuff with it. Okay. Well, you know what's funny? Huh. Check it out. I forgot the whole lens cover. So let's do that part all over again. Okay, now we're back together. Okay, well, it definitely comes on and works. I just don't know if it's actually going to scan. So, we'll find out. Okay, that's it for this video. Thank you everybody for watching. Have a good one.